Good morning. Trust that you slept well last night. I want to start a devotional series between now and Easter on fear. How can you and I live lives of faith rather than fear? In 2 Timothy 1:7, the Bible says God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. There's a lot of fear going around right now, and perhaps you're listening to this and you're afraid. And I understand fear. I've had moments of tremendous fear in my life. In fact, the biggest moment of fear in my life was when I was a junior in high school, and I had some friends spend the night, and we woke up in the morning and the house was on fire. There was a moment there where I thought, I'm going to die in this fire. And here's one thing we didn't do. None of us got up and thought, I wonder what caused this fire. Who's to blame for this fire? What could we have done differently? I think those are important questions, but at that moment, it's not time to figure that out. That's a time for action. And so, like I said, my first thought was, we're going to die in this fire. And I didn't really know a way out of my room. The windows in my room were louvered, and it would have taken far too much time to take them off as smoke began pouring into the room. And a friend of mine, Brad, was there, and he grabbed some weights and threw them through the window. And there were three of us. At one at a time, we went through shards of broken glass. My friend John cut his hand as he was going through. And I remember fear leaving as we were going through, and we knew there was a way out, and there was safety. But as soon as we got out, my friend Brad looked at me and he said the same thing that I was thinking. He said, "We got to go get your dad." He understood that my dad was born with muscular dystrophy. He was not going to be able to walk out of the house or run out of the house in the manner that we did. And so we ran around the house, tried to open up a few doors. They were closed. We finally got around towards the front of the house, and we got a door open. And both Brad and I went into this area heading towards where we believe my dad to be. And I don't know if you've ever been in a structural fire, but it's not like it is on TV. It's very dark. You cannot see your hand in front of your face. At least that was my experience. And as we went in, I got a ways into the house and realized I couldn't breathe. And my thought was, I'm going to head back out, catch my breath, and crawl back in. And so as I did that, as I went to go back in, I saw Brad there dragging my dad out. Most likely, he saved his life. And the difference was when I ran in next to Brad, he dove and dragged my dad out. And if you think about that with this verse in 2 Timothy, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power. We have this power you have within you, power to make a difference, to do something. And then it also says of love. God has poured his love into you. If you're a believer in Jesus Christ, he has poured out his love. If you're not a believer, the Bible tells us, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish. So God loves you, and he has poured that love out into you. And his desire is that you would go out and love others. It's love what drew Brad in there to go get my dad. And then it says, and of a sound mind. My thought is that Brad wasn't any less fearful than say I would, or I would say that he had a really sound mind there. I think sometimes in the middle of chaos, um, we don't think clearly. I knew from training that I should have crawled in on the floor and stayed below the smoke. But that sound mind wasn't there as clearly as it was with Brad. And maybe during this whole crisis and things that are going on right now, there's been times where you haven't responded with a sound mind. Well, my invitation to you today is take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and just say, okay, Lord, I haven't been responding with a sound mind. I haven't been walking in faith. I've been walking in fear. I haven't been loving people around me. This is a great time to say, Lord, I'm going to give you my fear. I'm going to give you my concern for the future. And I'm going to walk in your love. I'm going to love others. Who is it that God is calling you to love today? Love you guys. Praying for you.